On my last video, I talked about location being the main driver in determining any real estate investment decision. And I made a promise I will be doing a video on that. This is my official video on how to determine location for real estate investment. We are looking at an overview today. Key social and economic factors drive the demand and supply for real estate investment. You can have a high-priced property in a bad location that will result to negative investment. You can have a low-priced property in a good location, and that will result to positive real estate investment. Depending on your objective on why you want to invest, there are key factors that would determine that decision. If you're looking to invest in seasonal rentals, in short-term rentals, then you'll be looking more at resort homes, Airbnb, vacation homes, beach homes. But if you're looking at long-term rentals, which is simply single-family homes, then you'll be looking at different factors that will drive that decision. The key to real estate investment is to find a property in the right location. Because when you do that, then you're sure of two things. Number one, you'll be able to have a positive cash flow. Number two, you'll be able to build equity with appreciation over time. Today we'll be looking at three key variables in helping you make that decision about your location, because real estate is location, and it's location. We'll be looking at how to pick the right market, the right neighborhood, pick the right property. If we can determine the right market, the right neighborhood, and the right property, I can guarantee you 80% you will be making a good return on your investment, because you'll be using data and analytics to minimize your risk. Because business investment is all about risk management. We'll start with the right market. And when I talk about the right market could be a state and it could be a city. We have four main drivers here. The market growth. When we talk about market growth, we are talking about population trends. We look at the net migration. Are more people coming into this state, into this city, or are more people moving out? We have a tool called bestplaces.net/find. This is your key go-to resource in doing research when it comes to the demographics, to the economy, including schools, including everything. An area that has a positive net migration will tell you that there are more people moving into that area. Therefore, the demand for rental properties in that area could also be higher. The job market, unemployment rate. For the past 5 years, it will tell you the unemployment rate for that city, and it will also tell you the future job growth predictions in that area. And it can even break it down by profession. The job market, we are looking at unemployment rates and future job growth. A lower unemployment rate is positive. A high percentage of future job growth is also very positive. Home values. What is the median home value in this area? That will help your investment. Let's say you're looking to do investment, you say, I don't want to spend more than 200,000. What area will be able to give me a good home for that 200,000? So you look at the home values. It's very important, because you don't want to go to an area where the prices are very high, but you have very little money to invest. Another key factor here is you have to determine what are the rental rates in that area, because in some areas, it is cheaper to rent than to buy. And in some other areas, it is cheaper to buy than to rent. If you are looking to invest, for example, for a single family property, then you should know what the rent rates are. You should know that in this market, it's easier for me to get a single family property and rent it, because it is cheaper to rent in this area than to build. So it will not make sense for you to go put an investment in an area where it is much cheaper to buy. After selecting the right market, we now bring it down to selecting the right neighborhood. What do we look at when it comes to the neighborhood? We look at income levels. We look at the median income in that area. A high median income will also suggest high prices for properties, and will also suggest a high rate for rental properties. That may discourage you as an investor, because homes that are very expensive may not be very good for leasing. You want to look at moderate income neighborhoods. Moderate income neighborhoods will produce moderate home prices and will also produce moderate prices for rentals, which is affordable. Low income areas will produce low income homes and will also attract low income people, and it is very dangerous for investment, because you have to deal with the situation of a high turnover. Tenants who come in, they cannot pay, you have to go through the eviction process, and once you rent somebody your home, it's not easy to just evict them tomorrow. No, it goes through a process, and that may take a while. So you want to be careful that you select a neighborhood that has moderate income. So we have high, we have moderate, and we have low. So stay in the moderate level. One of the things to determine the income levels is also the professional demographics. You go to bestplaces.net, you go there, income levels, it will also give you the professional demographics of the people who are living in that neighborhood. The school districts. The best school districts will attract people who are moving into that area, into that neighborhood. So the scores is not the only factor that drives the school districts. You also want to look at the teacher to student ratio. Very, very important. Teacher ratings for the school, very important. And you also want to look, for those of you who are worried about the ethnicity, it breaks down even to ethnicity. You will know this school has 60% Caucasian, 30% blacks, and 10% Asian. The school rating is very important. They rate schools by 10. So good schools districts will do what? Will attract moderate to high income professionals. And that area will be a very good area for you to invest in real estate, because you know there will be a demand. Once you understand the professional demographics in that area, or the race and ethnicity in that area, you'll be able to determine what kind of amenities will be good for people in that area based on that data. Do they love go skiing? Do they love, tennis, basketball? Do the kids have summer soccer camps? All those things, they all depend on the demographics, on those amenities. They play a role. Transportation. When we talk about transportation, we talk about the commute. How long does it take you to get on the highway? People who are moving to an area, they want to be able to get up and go. 4, 5, 10 minutes, they're on the highway. That's very important for them, because it's going to make their job easier and it's going to make their life easier. So transportation, proximity, the commute to major highways is a major factor. Crime statistics, how many home murders we had in this area, how many property burglary cases we had in this area. You don't want to go into an area that has high crime, because high crime areas, people who do their homework, they will avoid those areas. After determining the right market, the right neighborhood, we are now to determine the right property. This is very important. Because if you don't do this right, then you may find that you are in the right market, in the right neighborhood, but then with the wrong property. There's what we call the 1% rule in real estate investment. It says you as an investor, you're supposed to be able to set your rent at least 1% of the purchase price. So if I buy a home for $100,000, I should set my rent at least at $1,000 a month in order for me to get some kind of a positive cash flow. Rule number one. Number two, hire a third-party appraisal. Appraisal will make sure that whatever you're paying for that property is the actual value of the property. Inspection. Make sure you hire an inspector, because you want to make sure the structure of that house is in shape. You want to make sure there are no surprises when you get that property, because those surprises will do what? Maybe the AC, maybe the roof, maybe the foundation. They will all crop into your profit margin and it will not be worth it. Make sure you do an inspection. Acquisition cost. A 20% down payment for the loan. We are talking about a 1.5% as closing cost. The most important of all is what we call the ARV. Whenever you see this term, it stands for after repair value. So whenever you see a seller, when they're advertising a property, especially when it comes to rehab, most people who like to buy, old properties and fix them and flip them and put them back out in the market or put them out on rental, your most important consideration will be your after repair value. When they advertise these properties, they will tell you your ARV is $200,000. What it means is that if you repair this house, if you do the estimated repairs in this house, this property can fetch you up to $200,000. Although we are selling it now for $100,000, if you do your repairs, your after repair value could be $200,000. Most people get carried by these numbers that is being thrown out by sellers. Do not get carried. Do your homework. The rule in real estate investment is for you to make at least 30% return on that investment, on that property. To determine the 30% rule in real estate investment, 30% return profit, you take the after repair value amount times 70% minus the estimated repairs. It should give you the maximum purchase price you should pay for that house. Let's look at some numbers here. If the seller advertises his property and he says the after repair value is $150,000, the estimated repairs will cost you $50,000. Your ARV times 70% minus the estimated repair cost will give you the maximum purchase price you can pay for that property. So if they tell you that a property has an ARV of a $150,000 and it has estimated repairs for $50,000, you as an investor, you should not pay more than $55,000 for that property. If I want you to take one thing home from this presentation, is the ARV and how to keep with your 30% rule in real estate investment. Very important. Another key consideration are the ongoing cost. What will be my homeowners association fees? What will be my property hazard insurance? If you do this, believe me, 80% you will be making a positive return on your investment. This is how you find the right property. We have determined the right market, the right neighborhood, and the right property. And I want you to listen to me keenly on this one. This is very important. Real estate investors use a matrix to determine two things. If it is better or cheaper to rent or buy in a particular environment, and also to manage the relationship between price and the rental value. That matrix is called price to rent ratio. You would simply divide the median home value. I will go back to my opening. The website bestplaces.net/find. You can find out the median home values by state, by county, by city, and even by zip code. You take the median home value, you divide it by the median annual rent for that area. Let's say, for example, the median home value in this neighborhood is 500,000. And the median rent is 2,000 a month. So in 1 year, it will be 24,000. So to determine our price to rent ratio, we'll divide 500,000 by 24,000 and it will give us 20.83. So the 20.83 will be our price to rent ratio. Why is that important? It is important because it will tell you if it is better to rent or buy in this neighborhood. If it's better to buy in a neighborhood, you don't want to, you have no business investing there. If it's better to rent, good. It will also tell you the relationship between the price and the rental value. A price to rent ratio below 15 is not good. Don't invest in it. In that environment, it is better to buy than to rent. It's about understanding the market where you find yourself. Market segmentation is all in real estate. A price to rent ratio of 16 and 20. Consider this market. There is a demand for rental properties in this market because it is cheaper to do what? To rent in this market than to buy. A price to rent ratio of 21 and above. Focus on that market. That is the best market because it has a high demand for rental properties. Most people in that environment, they are renting. You can also use the price to rent ratio formula to determine how long it would take for the rent in that property to pay off the property. So if you are paying 24,000, it will take you 20.8 years for you to be able to pay off this property. Your price to rent ratio is very, very important. That is the last straw. Make you sign the check and say this is the property. Do not be carried by emotions. Market research calls for data management, and there is no better way you can make an investment decision without data. Right market, right neighborhood, right property, price to rent ratio. C2C Mentors is a real estate mentorship community. I want to thank all of you who have been sharing our content. We appreciate you. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. Every Friday, we're bringing you new topics and new videos on real estate because we understand it is at the foundation for your family success. Thank you. I will see you on our next video.